Morning and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to ProPak Asia webinar series, focusing on packaging industry with the topic of sustainable packaging design, a comprehensive guide to package recycling and design recommendations. My name is Pim Ploy. I am a senior event executive here at Informa Market in Thailand. I will be your moderator for today. Before we start, let me explain how to interact with us during the presentation. If you have any question to the speakers, you can write in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. For any technical question, you can write to the team at ProPak Asia using the chat box. Your certificate of participation will be sent out within 5 working days after you have completed the webinar survey. For today's session, we have 3 speakers with us today. So let's begin with Ms. Narita Kelton. She is the Vice President for Sustainability and Safe Food at World Packaging Organization, or WPO. She will be presenting on the topic of packaging design for recycling guide and practice. Please welcome Ms. Narita. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much for having me, and on behalf of the WPO, we really do appreciate the very strong partnership that we have with Informa Markets, and we really are excited about participating and coming back to ProPak Asia in June, and we really look forward to seeing everybody there. So just very briefly, the WPO are a federation of over 64 member countries around the world, and we represent a broad range of packaging associations that are across the world. I'm sorry, I've just got a bit of lag with my screen. Just bear with me for a moment. I'll start again. So we have 64 member countries around the world. As you can see, we have a very broad mix of associations and countries. And at the end of the day, we are a federation of packaging associations that are here to provide training and education to everybody around the world that works within packaging and packaging industries. And at the end of the day, we want to help you to improve your packaging and to have a lower environmental impact. And when we talk about sustainability, it's like a big jigsaw puzzle, and we have different pieces of the puzzle that are applicable to different countries and regions. And what's really important for everybody here tonight to understand is that the rules are different for each country, the regulations are different for each country, and what we encourage you to do is to take the design principles and guidelines and the practices that are suitable to your country and region and apply them. But one of the biggest challenges that everybody that works in packaging has is, where do I start? There are so many different guides and statistics and reports and data, and they have no idea where to start with how to design better packaging. And so the WPO really encourages people to look at the waste hierarchy a little bit different when you're designing your packaging, because we want you to stop and really look at the packaging that you have right now. And the packaging that you have might be 10, 20, 30 years old. And we're asking you to really look at it and see whether you can make changes to it to have a lower environmental impact, to be more recyclable, be more recoverable in the country that you're selling it in, but ultimately maintain functionality and the ability to be fit for purpose. And so we want you to redesign your packaging with a lower environmental impact. And we want you to focus on reduction and reuse first, because these are 2 really important design principles that can make such a difference at the end of life. And then obviously we want you to look at recycling. But there are 10 sustainable packaging design guidelines that we do encourage everybody to start using. And we encourage everybody to take a photo of this, put it in a poster, put it on your desk, or put it in your office somewhere that everybody can look at and be reminded that there are 10 very simple, easy steps that you can follow for all of your primary, secondary, and tertiary packaging, and really looking at how you design for recovery and optimizing material efficiency, very much about reduction of product waste, looking at eliminating hazardous materials, incorporating recycled content, and all of the areas that are really important to looking at design. And so with the WPO, one of the things we want to do is we want to make sure that everything is accessible to everybody around the world. And what I mean by that is we want to be able to provide position papers and surveys and mapping tools and design for recycling guides and case studies, best practice examples, and all of the things that we think are really important for you to be able to take those steps to have more sustainable packaging. And so we have a significant amount of resources on the WPO website. They're all available free of charge and can be shared with anyone around the world. The most important project that we have undertaken in the last couple of years is the Global Packaging Design for Recycling Guide. And the Global Packaging Design for Recycling Guide is to help anyone around the world, even if you are a not technical person, to be able to design better packaging for recyclability and for materials recovery facilities. And so one of the areas that we really encourage people to look at is the design rules that come behind that. And the most important areas is that we want all packaging to be fit for purpose and functional first. And that's absolutely paramount when you're designing your packaging. And then we want you to start looking at measuring and tracking and tracing and benchmarking your packaging against your competitors to ensure that you are improving and advancing your packaging design as you go. And so the Global Packaging Design for Recycling Guide is the only guide in the world that actually supports all materials, all substrates. And what I mean by that is it's not just a PET bottle that we're talking about. We're teaching you how to design to be recycle ready for the bottle, the cap, the inks, the adhesives, everything that's included on that image that you can see. And we're trying to make it really easy for you to be able to use this. You do not have to be technical to use this guide. But ultimately, the purpose of this guide globally is to ensure that we have a common understanding, global, consistent, harmonized understanding of what circular packaging design looks like and how to design to be recycle ready. It's also a practical tool that's easy to use and understand, and it stimulates global education and training through the WPO and through universities like are here tonight with us. And it's a fantastic tool that everyone can use from tomorrow. And so one of the things that we do is we have a traffic light system within the report, in the guide, and it teaches you how to follow whether you're looking at green, amber, or red, and it will teach you how to push your design up from red to amber, and then ultimately up from amber into green. And it will help you to design better packaging. And so as you go through the material specific recommendations, you will clearly see how to redesign your packaging, what's good and what's bad, to ensure that it's recyclable through a traditional materials recovery facility. As I mentioned, we cover all materials and all substrates, and that's really important from a design element. We also want to make sure that it's simple for everybody to use. So it has very clear aesthetics, very clear explanations. And as I keep mentioning to you, it has a very obvious aesthetic, which is the traffic light system. And so if you see that you're designing and you're sitting in red or amber, then you can start to work towards designing for the green. What's really important for us is to make sure this is accessible and accessible everywhere around the world. And so we work with many organizations and partner groups that can help us to translate the guide into their local language. And we're really proud that in less than 2 years, we have 15 guides translated. They're all available free of charge on the website. And we have about 6 in play at the moment that are almost finished for translation. And we will continue to add as many countries as possible to this so that everybody can access this guide. But the next step is that guide is for materials recovery facilities, so state-of-the-art materials recovery facilities. And we respect and understand that every single country around the world has different realities. They may not have the facilities, the recycling capabilities, the reprocessing capabilities. And so we need to also ensure that we are providing appropriate and honest information about what really can be recycled or not recycled in every country. And so we have 32 waste stream mapping tools available on the website. So if you are exporting into any of these countries, you can visit the website and you can see what is recyclable and what is not recyclable. So it will teach you how to design better packaging to suit the export countries that you are targeting with your packaging design. It also follows a traffic light system, as you can see, and it will teach you what isn't recyclable, and then it will help you to redesign your packaging to suit that country. And we also have an extensive amount of extended producer responsibility, updates and guides, and we're creating a document that hopefully will be available later in the year, and it will provide a very good coverage on extended producer responsibility, eco-design and eco-modulation capabilities for a significant amount of countries. We have 26 countries available now, and we have another 19 that we're working on at the moment. And at the end of the day, it's really about creating a circular economy for packaging. And so through our network of WPO organizations and members, we want everyone to have a consistent approach to circular economy for packaging. We want everyone to really focus on designing out waste at the start, because the more we can do in the design process at the start, the less challenges we're going to have at the end of life. We want to make sure that we talk today about harmonizing packaging design standards to ensure that we're all speaking the same language as best we can around the world. We must ensure that all packaging is recycle ready to the country that it's sold in. We must eliminate chemicals of concern. And the biggest one at the moment is PFAS. And that's a very important conversation for changing some of your design processes in the future. And we also need to look at reducing virgin materials as much as possible, and then using recycled content so that we can use what's already out in the market and input it back into packaging so that we can have circularity by design. We must try and eliminate problematic materials, and then also look at a very underutilized area, reuse and refill. Stopping and thinking about whether you can change some of the packaging that you have at the moment, and can you make it reusable? Can you make it refillable? Can we look at using that packaging as many times as possible before you introduce more virgin materials? And at the end of the day, for the WPO and our member associations around the world, it's so important that we focus as an industry on trying to keep packaging out of landfill. We need to keep packaging out of the waterways, the environment, and we must ensure that we as an industry stay within our planetary boundaries through our packaging design. And so that's just a little taste of who the WPO are and how we can help you. We have training courses that are available to you to support you, and I look forward to questions later on. Thank you.
For the second speaker, to Professor Jeremy Putin. He was in front of the University Press from Open University. He will be presenting on the topic best practices for designing recycling packaging. Welcome, Professor Jeremy. Professor Jeremy.
Okay, the sound is good. Okay, Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to introduce myself first. I am an Associate Professor Dr. Jiranut Buddijin. I lecturer in Sukhothai Thammathirat Open University. Today, I'm going to talk about the best practice in design, packaging, recycle. I share the slide. Okay, we just start for the back to the beginning before we talk about the sustainable packaging. I think if we think to take back for the original of the world and start for it, but maybe it is very the long descent, but the truly essential to understand the core of sustainability living. The key is of the world to keen for the paradise of enjoyment and the human for the cultivate it and care for it. This is the function of world and function of the human. But now the human have a unlimited design and natural resource with our consider their limit. But the result is the planet is very warming, global warming, and very baking out the broken world. This is the original to design the world and human to cultivate and care. But the main point to think about now, we cultivate and care the world too much already. The next slide, the mindset of sustainability is really important to towards sustainability. Let's start for 3 mindset. First, start with the reduce thinking. The unselfish is very important to reduce self-center and tendency to put ourselves to the center for everything. This is the heart of reduce principle. And the next, if we think to reduce ourselves and to care for another people, love each other is very useful to benefit with other, and we care about other, and just always ask who else might be benefits from this. That is the lead to natural to principle of the reuse. And the next is a recycle. If we unselfish and love each other and care for the other, then we just care to the world. If we care to the world, we just think on mind, how can we create the world beautiful and continue us to regenerity for the next generation. If we think for the 3 mindset of sustainability of our life and expand to the in all area of our life. We expand to the area mindset sustainability in the packaging life cycle. We start from the material. When we think for the material, we think for what's the material, the less of environmental impact. And the next, when we to select the production or packaging, we just think how can we manufacture and minimal energy and resource assumption. It should be good to reduce the energy and resource. And then to the next in logistics, to think about where and how should be transport product to ensure minimal damage and maximize efficiency. And when this is the product state, when we think to the market state, we think for the customer who buy the product. We think for why motivation customer to buy our product, and who are the people who care most when they use this product, what they feel and what about their life. And the end of the disposal and the end of life. What's the packaging goal and what happened after its use? These are mindset of sustainability in all of area of packaging. And expand in packaging area in the reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reduce for your waste, refill unnecessary item, and reuse the item you have and finish time that you can. And recycle if you anything fail, see if you can recycle them. I just emphasize for Nelida to talk about the book, the packaging design for recycling guidebook recommendation. This is very good for students and for academic staff and industrial for professional skill to provide the clear guideline and design selection to select the appropriate material packaging. And the guidebook is a very practical tool to promote packaging design practice. And now we have a Thai version already. You can download on the WPO website. And the next slide, we just think in my work page in university. My university have really emphasized and strong become a green university. We're proud to be part of UD Green Metric World University ranking. And our position is continue to improve year by year. Very good. The effect is go to integrated sustainable in all area of our campus and operator economic activity. And the next, we just talk about the case study of my student to design the organic product packaging. The organic product packaging, we have some big problem about fungal of inhibits for the natural material. It's really to found of every material packaging, to found the fungi, to found the some contaminate with the product. But if the farmer to decide to grow the pomelo or mango or anything else or fruit of Thailand, but the packaging is non-organic, is not good for organic product and packaging. Then we start to how to use the Thai herb power extraction to for inhibit to fungal effect in natural packaging material. We start from the to understand what kind of the fungal of in natural raw material. We start from the hydrogen. We found that if we put the Calico and Thong Pangshan, this is a Thai herb of Thailand. It's really useful for the inhibition of fungal. If we take too long time and we take too high concentrate, it can inhibit of fungal to stop and to control the inhibit of fungal is not effect for the product. It is good for organic product from Thailand and to promote the OTOP product from Thailand. And we understand what kind of the fungal to wax, the bite and yellow, and we try to reduce the fungal from the natural material with Thong Panchang and Kalango to stop the fungal contamination. And the next is a case study in for the airplane single-use packaging in the food service industry. In after COVID-19, we found that we changed from the packaging single-use from the airplane, from the reuse from ABS material to change for PVC or paper. But the important is may we have many bits of the disposal from the airplane to infinity of the packaging after ends of life is not good for environmental. And how to design and how to select what the best choice of the food service in airplane. In 5 food service in airplanes, for example, like this, from the ceramic or ABS material is can reusable and washing. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, we changed to the box of paper or PVC. All of this material is one-time use. Then we start from the to understand functional packaging journal from the airplane. Start from the cabin crew to pack the product and then to warm in the oven before serve, and then load in the airplane for the to serve to customer. After that, the cabin crew to serve customer is very careful after during after COVID pandemic, because the cabin crew cannot contact the food, and then change the food from the ABS reuse to a single use is very good for anti-COVID-19. We have a 3 prototype to analyze what is the best choice of food packaging in airplane. First is ABS reuse packaging. It can washing and reuse from the high temperature and steam with the water, and then to come back to return again for the customer. The next is PVC single-use packaging. All of it is made from PVC thermoforming and serve for one serve, and then go to a disposal page. And the last is packaging single-use packaging is made from the paper, the spoon, the knife, the box. All of this made from the paper. And then we use LCA, life cycle assessment, to analyze what the main point of the component, what is the high of ranking of environmental effect. We found that the environmental effect is very effect for the plastic box in a very high heavy weight. We check that from paper, single-use plastic, and ABS reuse packaging. We found that 5-phase is very high of environmental impact, more than production and transportation and washing and environment and of life, because 5-phase is very have a big heavy material and heavy weight. Is concerned to burn the oil, burn the fuel to transportation. That's why it is really impact for environmental impact in the 5-phase. These are we found that if we understand what kind of the material is the most of high impact of environmental, we just select is good for the function and is good for the reduce to environmental impact. And the last case is design for development for logistic packaging. Now, after COVID-19, we use the online shopping every day. For me, maybe every day. And then we found that the cushioning and many of foam and cushion of the everything to protect the product to need more and more and more. And after that, the logistic packaging for online shopping, we use for the single use. That after that is very not good for environmental. Then we decide the new of drawing for the box to new design. How can we use the box from single use to multi-use box? We start with to redesign the drawing. If we make the joint of the list of the top of the lid to like origami folding, it can expand and it can increase and decrease. And after that, we increase the line like this for to reduce the height of the box. And after that, when we use for the box one time, and we can to turn off inside for second time. And the box to folding like origami is can lock for the product. Depend on product too big, the lock for the folding is too very many kind of creasing. But if the product is too small, the folding is to decline. Something like this is different from the decrease and decline like this. And we crease for the tree of the height of the box have to use to 3 dimension. That means one box we have a 3 sides from the same box. This is very useful for online shopping because online shopping we have many kind of product, many kind of material. Then the online shopping we can select the box for the good for the fit for the product what that we can. And after that, when the box is ends of life, we change the list of this to open like this for transform corrugated box to the disposal waste unit. These are not used for the only box, but it can transform to another function for good. And before the end of life to go to the recycle bin, we can floating like we design for the origami box, origami creasing. We can folding like this, really too small size before to go to the recycle bin. These are design for thing for before the box go to the end of the line. How can we do the best? How can we do the design like this to think like this? And the last, we try to use the box for DIY decoration and to joyful celebration in our office, and it's really good to work together and really joyful in the celebrate from the New Year or Christmas together. These are it's a small thing to think a small thing, but you can save the world too much. Thank you very much.
Best practice. Those are useful information and guidelines for our packaging industry. It's
Hello, I think I cannot hear the MC right now, but anyway, I think I am in my queue now. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, ProPak Asia and Informa Market that having me today. I think let me just shortly introduce myself. My name is Sunthorn Yongwibunsili. I'm from SCG Packaging or SCGP, working as a sustainability director. Today, I'm the representative from TPMC as a eco-design working group. So I would be very happy today to share about how TPMC has developed eco-design and also the guideline in connection with the EPR Act, which we are developing. So I would like to start with a short introduction of the TPMC. TPMC is the Thailand Institute of Packaging and Recycling Material for Sustainable Environment, with the TPMC in short. Currently, we have up to 56 members supporting TPMC, covering the producers, material producers, packaging producers, brand owners, from the upstream and then down to the distributors, retailers, down to consumers. And then we have also the collectors and the sorter, recycler as well. So the coverage of the stakeholders are quite good in order to have a same mission to promote the closed loop packaging. And right now we are strongly focused on developing the Thailand Sustainable Packaging Material Act, Management Act, which is EPR for Thailand. So I think for EPR, many people are now starting to get familiar with this EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility. As a conceptual, EPR is a liability for the producers mainly is the brand owners, which is has a role to responsible for their packaging placed into the market and to the consumers. The role of the producer is either doing the collection and responsible for take their packaging back to the recycling loop by themselves, or with either by using the independent organization called PRO, Producer Responsibility Organization. This mechanism, the PRO will manage the funding and the resources in order to support all steps in the value chain in order to promote the cross loop flow of the material from the post-consume back to the recycling. And of course, the objective is to increase the material recycling rate in the ecosystem. And of course, the packaging design would be important role in the step to promote these objectives as well. A little deeper into the mechanism which our PCD, Pollution Control Department, which is the key players to develop this EPR Act together with the TPMC. This diagram shows the stakeholders across the value chain, which you can see that from each block, you can see the material producers, the brand product producers, and down to the consumer. The black color line represent the flow of the materials from the upstream to the downstream. And you can see that after the consumer, either the material could be collected or treated as a disposal, or can be recycled back to the producers. And in the same time, you can see that the PRO would be act as a independent organizations. In this chart, you can see that the producers either they do it by themselves. We call it in individual producer responsibility, or either pay the fee. We call it service fees to the PRO, which you can see that the PRO will manage the fee for supporting in each step in the stakeholders. Either for example, like promote supporting the infrastructures in the ecosystem, either supporting by giving them the good purchasing price for the material, or supporting the cost of the collecting, sorting, and recycling. So this is to make sure that the material can be smoothly flow back to the producers. And you can see that in the act, it said that the management would be consist of the upstream management, which of course consists of the eco design from the beginning, which is an important step. And also the midstream, which is state about this consumption in the market. And finally, the post-consumption management after the packaging is being used by the consumers, how they can be collected, sorted, and back to the loop. So how eco design team drive the task along with the EPR. This is the structure of the working group that TPMC developed. There are about 8 work groups or work plans under four goals. Starting from the first goal number 1, which is the developing the EPR system, which is EPR law and the data system, data register, and also the EPR recommendation for the implementation in the future. And the goal number 2 is for simulate as a pilot system. We call it take back system. We are also would like to promote and try to invite all the producers and stakeholders to be voluntarily involved in this program, and also the infrastructure that we need to develop. Goal number 3 is how to engage with all stakeholders in terms of raising their awareness to make sure that they understanding about this act, and also collaboration with between among the stakeholders. And lastly, is the number 4. Goal number 4 is to develop the other related elements like an incentive and also the eco DSI, which we are in this work group. So how can we link this eco design to the EPR? The term of the eco modulation is a term that could be an answer to connect between the eco design to the EPR. Since the EPR fees definitely could be calculated from the cost of the ecosystem. Eco modulation is the mechanism that to regulate or determine the suitable levels of the EPR service fees. For example, if you have a good design of the packaging, for example, you use less material of the packaging, or you design the packaging in a way that facilitate the use of the consumers to be easily understand that what kind of the material of the packaging they are using, and then finally after use they understand that how to put that packaging for the suitable recycling way, or it could be easy for them to separate the piece or components of the material in order to let them go to the suitable way of each of them. So this is an example. On the right side table, on the right, I pick an example from the United Kingdom. This is the second release of the quite a preliminary EPR fees for 2025 to 2026 for different materials. You can see that there are 3 levels. We call it lower, intermediate, and higher fee cost. This is to reflect that if the design is good for the recyclability or for collection, sorting, and easy for recycling, the cost of the system could be low. Then that packaging or the producers can pay only the cheap fee. On the opposite, on the other hand, the producers that does not comply would be paid at a higher rate. You can see that the higher rate of each packaging can be double of the lower one. So and we call that they said that this is the intermediate level is quite like a average for that. But anyway, this could be further recalculate to be more precise. Okay. So our work plan is to is like this. It composed of 3 parts. The first one, we would like to develop our own packaging design guideline, typically for Thailand. By we started with the pilot packagings, and then the second thing that we need to develop is that once we got the guideline or the design, we would like to study about the testing or the validation and certification methodology. how can the producers can certify their packaging, which is would be determined as a good eco design or not. And finally, once we have that system, we need to rise it up to be a national standard in order to connect it and link with the EPR Act in order to be eco modulation for the EPR fees. Okay, this is the way that we try to choose the pilot packagings to be for the guideline development. From this chart of the Thailand food, beverage, pet food, home, personal care segment, you can see that rigid plastic and flexible plastics are the top two contributed to this total packaging, more than half, which PET and HDPE as a majority in the rigid packaging. So that we decided to use these three materials. Actually, if you think about Thailand, we have developed this guideline before. I can say that there was the agreement guideline called the D4R, which is developed by the TEI, Thailand Environmental Institute, together with the TC, Thailand Industrial Standard Institute. But the guideline actually is they have been done very well, and actually is a guideline and recommendation is not mandatory. So if you think about eco modulation, we think that it needs to be enhanced a little bit to be more suitable for the eco modulation. For example, we need to be the guideline for each packaging must be classified into a levels in order to use that for the eco moderation and calculated the fee. So this is an idea. Okay. Now you see the structure that we use. I can say that actually the WPO packaging design guideline would be very first point that we started off. So we use that guideline, and all together with the other global standard that we found and then available, like Recyclas or the APR or the C-Flex. We try to put this together as the reference, as well as the D4R, which we already have in Thailand. So we found that the quite simple way is that to use the traffic light system to be green, amber, and red, which is try to use exactly as the WPO said. So the green one could be the best case that we would like to be, which is very good for the recyclability. Yeah, and for the yellow one, the amber one, could be something that the WPO called it if necessary, and the red one should be avoided. So this is the structure that we try to develop. So what could be the considerations that we should take into account for Thailand? Generally, we consider this sorting process and the recycling process available and the capability in Thailand. In general, if you see the sorting process, it consists of the several unit operations, starting from the separation of the contamination materials or the other smaller size waste from the point number 4 and 5, and then the packaging waste could be removed. The packaging which consists of the metal could be removed, as well as the material which is non-ferrous metal and aluminum could be removed in step 6 and 7. And finally, the ballistic separation process will be separated the rigid plastic from the flexible plastic. And finally, the NIR, which is the process to separate the type of the polymer. So this is something that we need to consider for the criteria for each packaging. For example, NIR, if the packaging or bottle, PET bottle, like if you have a color or the carbon black, which is the color that absorbs the infrared, that could be interfere the NIR process and cannot be, it is not workable. So this is some kind of the consideration factors that we need to consider when develop the criteria. So I would like to take 2 examples that for the PET, HDPE, and also the flexible packaging criteria that we developed and use this criteria for the eco-modulation. If you see this simple PET bottle, actually from the criteria 1 to 10, there's just the 3 category according to the WPO. The first one is the material of the bottle itself, either the material itself, and also the color, and also the adhesive in the bottle. The second one, from item number 4 to number 7, there's the components, the adjacent components, and also the decoration, like the sleeve, the label, ink, the coating, everything. Yeah. And finally is the closure system, from caps to the liners and seals. And the last one is something that we consider about how easy the product could be empty from the packaging. So this is the structure that we try to develop the criteria, and each one we also come out with the 3 traffic light system. And finally, the multiple flexible packaging. This is quite challenging because nowadays there are so no recycling stream for this material. The challenging is that this kind of the flexible packaging mostly composed of the multiple layers, which is multiple materials, different materials. This is because of the functionality of each layers that we need to have for the protection of the product inside. If you see from the left side, you can see that the outer layer, we need the printability of the packaging because we need to have a printing information picture on that. In the same time, the middle layer is most important because we need the barrier to protect the permeability of the air or something, moisture to our product. And the inner is for the sealant. So because of this function, the material type for the best one would be the different material. For example, this one, PET, would be best for the printing, alu for the barrier, and LDPE for the sealant. But this kind of the flexible packaging is very difficult for the recycling. So the way we need to go is to try to have them most monomaterial as possible, or at least we call it polyolefin, which is only composed of the PP and PE. This is considered acceptable, but the recyclate still, if you consider the property, the quality would not be as good as the pure monomaterial, like in the most right picture. If you can use the same material, it would be very easy for the recycling. So in terms of the criteria, it's quite similar as the rigid packaging. We consider the material of the polymer itself, the pigment, the color, and the barrier, and then the coating, metallization that they use, and also the additive. the components attached to the bag, like a crusher, the nozzle, the zipper. The best one is to have it the same material as the packaging. Also the ink and the coating, the adhesive and the label. This kind of criteria we now developed and then come out with the traffic light. From this development, right now we already have public hearings from the stakeholders already 2 times, and then we try to finalize them by mid of this year. And after that, we all in the same time we are talking with some of the testing institute like MTech, try to validate the testing of these parameters, whether it's possible to be validated and certified in order to use them as a final traffic light system for the EPR3 levels. So by this development, you can, I hope you can understand how the eco-design team trying to develop. And I think this is also the mechanism that would be really at the beginning stage of the sustainable packaging management in order to facilitate the recycling in the EPR Act. So this is what I have today, and I'm happy to have questions and then try to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sunthorn, for sharing your knowledge with us. It was a grateful information and guideline for our packaging industry, and we have to apologize for the technical problem. For now, may I ask all speakers to turn on your camera for capture our precious moment. And if anyone has any question, you can write in a Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. Okay, everyone ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much, every speaker. I think we have a question coming in. The question number 1 is the PVC material recommended acceptable to become primary packaging for food? Is any speaker would like to answer for this?
So in PVC, we can use in the food packaging because we select the food grade of PVC to use for the single use for food. It can be used, yes.
Okay.
If I can just add, it really depends on the country that they're asking for, because some countries don't actually promote or advocate for PVC and some countries do. So again, that question would have to be determined by the country that they're selling into.
Okay, and we have another question. It's gonna be like quite long. In life cycle assessment or LCA, it is essential to evaluate the full range of environmental impact, not just greenhouse gas emission factors such as fuel consumption, water use, and greenhouse gases must all be considered. Therefore, it is inaccurate to conclude that single-use paper packaging is inherently better based solely on one impact category. A comprehensive comparison across all relevant indicators is necessary to determine the overall environmental performance.
They are correct. They're
I think it's
100%
a
correct.
question.
And I think, with life cycle assessment, there's different parameters, there's different data sets. It depends who's asking the questions with life cycle assessment, but you are correct. We can't make assumptions. We have to use science. And LCA is the science and the evidence that we must have. And please don't move a material from plastic just because you think that paper's better. Undertake a life cycle assessment to determine if that is actually true.
Okay, another one question I think is directly to Mr. Sunthorn. You are doing good job for saving planet and people health, but why there is a clear guideline of enforcement for EPR?
Yeah, if I understand the question correctly, about the guideline, is that would be mandatory or not? This is something the key point that we need to consider. It must be connected with the act, the EPR Act anyway. Otherwise, it would be the same as previous that we done before. I agree that we need to structure this guideline in some way or somewhere, so that it could be used as a national guideline for the EPR Act. I hope I hope that after the EPR Act is enforced, there will be several laws coming after that in detail about this as well.
Okay, thank you for the answer. And I think another last question go directly to Narita. Does the WPO Global Packaging Design for the recycling guideline also align with the design for recycling guideline for other like Recyclass, if I'm not wrong, APR?
Yes, it does. So our guide matches and ensures all updates for Recyclass and APR CFlex because they are the global standards for the materials. So our guide represents all materials, whereas Recyclass and APR and CFlex are determined by independent substrates. And so we have to ensure that they all marry up for that global, consistent, harmonized design standard. We've also actually updated, and Jiranuk doesn't know this yet for the Thai translation, but we have actually got a new version 2 because we've had to update for PPWR, and we will have a new version probably next year or the year after, which will be very much aligned with PPWR as well. So we continually update, and we think it's important to ensure we're all, even Thailand's EPR program that's about to happen, we have to work together to ensure we've got harmonized standards.
Yep. All right. I think I saw another important question to Mr. Sunthorn. Is it mean that in the green and yellow light, packaging will be accepted from EPR fee?
No, actually, you can do all three, but you need to pay more if you are in red. You need to pay more expensive.
Yeah. Can I add to that?
Yeah, please.
It's really important that people understand that if you have a smart eco design guideline which has a traffic light system, then you can think about pricing and costs against your eco modulation. So if you are in red, your packaging will either be banned or you're going to pay a lot more. If you are in amber, you'll pay less than the green, but the green is the good one because the brands are going to be paying a lot less because they're designing for recycling and reprocessing. So that's how we try to teach people how to understand red is bad, amber's not that good, green's the only good one.
Just would like to add a little more. Actually, for the green for Thailand would be different from other countries. You cannot compare with other country because the green for Thailand should not be too difficult for the producer to achieve. Otherwise, it would be not achievable.
Yeah, and the
We will
green,
try
and the
to
green, you're
implement.
100% right that the local country design guide is so important because it is based on the reality of what happens or can't happen in that country, and it is very different for every country. You're
That's why we
100%.
need to listen to our brand owners and all the stakeholders.
Okay, I think the answer is quite clear to the participant. And if there's no more question before we end the webinar today, on behalf of Informal Markets, the organizer of ProPak Asia, I would like to thank to all speakers for the great presentation. And it was our pleasure to have you with us. And thank you everyone for participating to the webinar. And just a quick reminder that your certificate of participation will be sent out within 5 working days after you have completed the webinar survey. You can scan the QR code on the screen. And last but not least, I would like to invite everyone to join ProPak Asia 2025, the premier processing and packaging exhibition for Asia. ProPak Asia is the regional #1 international trade event for product solution and technology on processing and packaging. And the event will be held on 11 to 14 June at Bangkok International Trade and Exhibition Center in Thailand. The pre-registration is now open. You can simply scan the QR code on the screen. And additionally, we offer a hosted buyer program for any companies who interested in attending ProPak Asia as a group or individual. Whether you base overseas or locally in Thailand, if you are interested, please do not hesitate to contact our team. We're hoping to see you there. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.